What is going on, people? Welcome to the Honor Level Podcast, episode 17. Today we are here with NewWaveBeatss. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, good, man. How about yourself?
Yeah,
I'm
you know
great.
what? Not too bad. I actually know what? No, low key, I'm pissed. Yeah, because man went out on the weekend, and I've been using my passport as my only form of ID. I don't have a driving license or anything like that, and so I lost my passport on a night out. So I'm pissed. I'm absolutely pissed, but
Oh,
yeah, because round
they're
here
expensive.
they don't accept anything else as ID. Round here they don't, like, unless you've got a driving license or your passport, they'll claim that everything's fake. I don't know. Is it easy to get fake ID in Australia or?
Oh, not really, eh? I don't know. I think there was like a website doing them for a while, eh? But like some places can tell them, I guess. I don't know.
Right, yeah. Nah, here so
I just license. Usually it's just license and passport.
yeah. But a lot more people in Australia drive from a younger age though.
Yeah. What time do you guys get? What age do you guys get your license?
We can drive from 17 with a provisional or like with
Oh,
your full license as of 18. But it's the cost of it. The cost of it's too much here.
yeah, yeah. Well, you got good public transport, bro. Like
Yeah, in
from what I
London we do
understand, from
anyway.
what I
Yeah.
Bro, ours sucks. At least in Perth, man. I think Melbourne's the only one that has good, like, bro, buses over here, trains over here, once every 3 hours, like, and it takes 40 minutes to get somewhere that takes 20.
Ah, that's shit.
Straight out.
So yeah, you gotta be able to drive basically.
Yeah, that's it. Especially because, like, Western Australia's like the biggest state in Australia, but it has the least amount of people. It's like stretched out as fuck, pretty much. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it's just like way different from all the other cities. I feel like.
yeah.
Although when I went to Brizzy, I just got back from Brizzy last night at like 4 in the morning or something, like 4 this morning or 3 this morning, and that was like out of all the cities, because I've been in Melbourne and Sydney. I went to the first time earlier in like March for 50-50, like fully gas and that,
Yeah.
and they felt way different in like a good way to Perth, but Brizzy felt like a way bigger Perth, like a way more like what's it called, like dense. You know what I mean? Like more
Yeah, it's more of a heavy
you know?
populated.
Yeah, that's it. But like super like similar. At least I feel like, anyways. Like it was a super, like buildings and that looked the same. Like
Yeah.
the energy of it was like good. The boys over there are sick as well. So yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, man.
Fucking
So
awesome.
what
First time.
city is like that stands out the most? Like, what's like? Is there any city in particular that is completely unique from others?
Oh man, I've only really been like, I mean, I've spent most of my time in Perth up until like early this year. Literally, I think I've been to Bali and Perth, because Bali is the closest place to fly to and the cheapest. So it's like 3 hours to get to Bali, 5 hours to get to Brizzy, and like 4 to get to. So we always, like, all the guys in Perth and that, we all just fly over to like Melbourne. It's cheap.
Right.
I'm sorry, to Bali, because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
But I think I spent the most time in Sydney out of all of them so far. Sydney was really cool. Sydney was sick. Sydney's just like, because that's, I feel like, where like Aussie rap that's branching out in a sense. Like if people don't really listen to it, that's like the people who they know are from that city. You know what I mean? In that
Yeah,
sense,
yeah.
I feel like, whereas Brizzy's a bit more like, you know, I feel like Brizzy, there's a few guys, like it's a sick scene over there. They're like Perth, where everyone's just kind of working together. Sydney's just got everyone. You know what I mean? You got the Curses, you got the
Yeah.
Chillinets, you got the Triple Ones and all that. So you got like all kind of the people that can branch out into like other states and all that, or other countries and all that. And I feel like Melbourne's kind of just it's got its own scene. At least this is how everything felt to me. It's
Yeah.
got its own scene in the sense everyone's super like, you know, you got all your Fractures and you got your Scotties and that, and all those guys just killing it. And it's just like they're almost like, I feel like every other city almost like likes Melbourne. Like Melbourne's where, like, you know, that you go to.
Yeah.
Like, that's in that sense. Everyone's built up, like all the Melbourne boys have been run it for ages. Where I feel like Sydney's kind of they're kind of like the ones that are, I guess, getting more out into, you know, the world.
Yeah, is it fair to say that Melbourne are kind of in their lane and people respect them for that because they're just worrying about them, whereas Sydney have more of that national reach? You know, as
Yeah.
well as they're respected in their city, they're also branching out into others as well.
Well, I feel like Melbourne's like almost the cause for all that shit happening, though. You know what I mean? Like they're almost the reason why there is all the rappers now. At least for how I understand it, you know what I mean? Like, I know I haven't always been into Aussie hip hop, Like, not gonna lie, like literally up until like I wasn't really into all the older stuff. I respected it, but it wasn't my.
So who was you listening to? What did you used to listen to?
Like ASAP Rocky, you know what I mean? Like that stuff, like Travis Scott.
So you was into
I like
your US shit then?
Yeah. And that's why my beats are kind of like how they are. They're not necessarily grime. They're not drill. Now more, it's like I've kind of learned to branch out and do whatever. But they're like, you know, the Team 88 or the Southside 808 Mafia, Metro Boomin kind of beats and stuff like that, because that was like my first influence. Those are like the guys that kind of made me get into music in a sense. But yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much where I feel like my sound comes from, because I kind of came into it a bit later. Like I heard about Huskii and I was like, this is sick. Like I knew Shadow and I knew Jose Halftime, because like I didn't like hip hop, but those guys were just so different. And I didn't know about the rest of the scene, so it's just like I just used to have like I got their first all their first songs, or like when, well, I wouldn't say their first songs, but like when they kind of got a bit of a buzz, I guess.
Yeah.
I had on there, and that's kind of what made me go, oh, like I might be able to make beats and kind of branch out like and do it. You know what I mean? So like pretty much Shadow was like the first person. Shadow and Jose Halftime, like the first two people, and then I heard who did I hear? Huskii, and that was like literally the week I heard of him, I sent the beat out for Slurpee and Runs, and that's what happened. Like that was the week I heard of him, and I was like, this is so different, this is sick, this is not like all the old stuff. Like, again, I respected the older stuff, it just wasn't, you know what I mean? I liked all the new 808s and beats like that. That was kind of more my lane, you know what I mean? What I felt, at least.
You was into those new wave beats. yeah, but no, you have that newer sound to your style.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I feel like that's just kind of.
What tracks have you? So you produced Slurpee? You produced Slurpee and Servo?
No, not Servo. That wasn't me. I think that was Luke Goons. I did Slurpee and Runs, which there wasn't a video clip for. So that was Trap Sessions 2 and 3. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are my two. And then I had some on Cold World. I had some stuff come out with Snow and that.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a on that album.
Okay, and then what other artists have you produced for / worked with?
What artists?
Yeah.
That's the thing, man. It's since like pretty much December was when I met all OD and the rest of them. You know what I mean? Like, I think I knew Snow online and Huskii online before I met any of the guys out west that were doing stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I've been speaking to people for like ages, if that makes sense. And so pretty much I've just been working with Snow up until that time, and then this year came and it's just like, the boys dropped me an OD, like shout out Bass Cadet, shout out OD, Bass Cadet, Monk, Jasper, Shadow, everyone, and Binko, fucking up. But yeah, like since then I've just been kind of like I guess networking. That's the whole reason why I'm going over there. So it's like I've been making beats heaps. It's just I haven't really released anything. I've heard people have been putting up snippets and that, and I've just been releasing beats, but I haven't actually dropped any more music. I'm kind of just like not waiting in a sense, but I want to like get a lot of work behind me, you know what I mean? And that's and then I can kind of come out as like my own thing, because I really want to build up an image. Like, if not necessarily saying I have to have the best beats or anything, but I want to build up an image like an artist, you know what I mean? Like I want my personality to matter as much as it does in my beats, you know what I mean? Like I like being out there, I'm a talk person, so it's just like I like trying to build that side of things, you know what I mean?
I hear that. I mean, like, so you wanna have people be sort of, you know, when you have those producers, they're gassed that the producers on that track as well as just the artist. For example, if Swizz Beatz makes something, if Metro Boomin does something, T Minus, Boy Wonder, those and it's like, whoa. As well as it being J. Cole, Travis Scott, etc., you've also got this producer, and you want it to be like, oh, we've got Alex Jones, Chill, Wombat, Shadow, whoever. But NewWaveBeatss is doing his thing, New Wave. So yeah,
and that's what kind of what I want to do, because I feel like that's almost what is gonna build me to have longevity. You know what I mean? Like I'm not just gonna be like, oh yeah, that sound we've heard his tag before. Well, that's cool and that, but like I want to almost be sometimes mistaken. What is he doing? Like, you know what I mean? I want people to almost see me like, who is that dude? Like, and then people go, oh right, so he's that producer. I've heard that tag. You know what I mean? Like, kind of build up that image so I can just have like a I don't have to just rely on my beats. You know what I mean? Like I can always become like a personality off of that as well. Obviously, main thing is beats, but just being able to like all round almost just bring in, I guess, a bit more. If I want to branch out, it's a lot easier to, because I've just kind of been seen around, if that makes sense, like that. So that's also
You
why I
don't
want to
want to
branch
be
out.
one-dimensional, basically. You don't want
Exactly.
to just be known just for beats. You kind of want to have your little bits around that. Obviously, the hub and the heart of everything you do is your instrumentals and producing, etc., etc. But you know, you want to build, as you said, like a personal brand around that.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, straight up, man. That's pretty much it, eh?
Okay,
But
so you're staying patient. You're working on stuff. Have you got an idea of what you want to do next, or is your patience within just waiting for the right opportunities to arise?
I feel like a bit of both, man. I'm just kind of not like I like to plan things, if that makes sense. But I also, depending on how I'm feeling and what day or whatever, I also like to see how it's going. So pretty much whenever I feel like I want to do this now, I'm a person where I'll go and do it at that time. You know what I mean? Like if I feel something in that moment, I'll go and do it while I'm in that moment. But like, yeah, it's just like I've got all these tracks and stuff stacked up. Like, you know what I mean? I make beats every single day, and I got all this stuff. Like I got stuff with Greasy, Shadow, like verses, pretty much unfinished tracks, even just like became like everyone. You know what I mean? But just yeah, like I haven't actually come around to release anything this year. I think also another thing is that I've been trying to build up like my beat catalog just so I can sell beats out to artists and that. So I've been more so focusing on that as well. Like I try and release beats all the time when I can. My laptop broke, so I was out of it for a bit. But bought a new one like 2 weeks ago or whatever, a bit before the tour. But yeah. So I think yeah, man. I'm kind of waiting for the right time in a way.
Yeah.
Like I kind of want to build myself a bit more and then release stuff. But I feel like also a lot of it's just like how I'm feeling. Like, oh, do I want to go and do that now? Or like, do I want to work on myself and beats just today? You know what I mean? Or do I want to go like reach out, send beats out, whatever? So I feel like it's just depending on how, you know what I mean, feeling in that sense. But I feel like I've just been working harder, and then like instead of just releasing every little thing I do, just kind of not necessarily keeping quiet, but just like, you know what I mean, going, okay, I'm like working on this, and then when people drop it, it's gonna show. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna show the work.
Yeah, no, I hear that. I mean, that's kind of short-term hard work and then long-term patience. You know, being able to really hustle on a day-to-day or week-to-week basis. But then, you know, just because you put in work for 3 days in a row doesn't mean that you're gonna get results from that straight away. Obviously, it's hustling short-term and then being patient and waiting for the rewards or waiting for the exposure or whatever comes back from that over a long period of time.
Yeah, straight up, man. Yeah,
so you're a person who likes to be more impulsive then, in terms of not having half a plan in your head, but more so when you get the feel for something, you kind of just go for it there and then. Do you feel like that's better? Although that's how you operate, do you feel it's better to work that way than like kind of over plan and everything? Like just everything's like for the next 3 weeks, you've got a schedule of what you're doing by the hour kind of thing. Or do you feel like it is better the way you do it in terms of just being impulsive and just kind of doing it there and then when you get the feeling for it?
I don't know, man. Like when I look at like successful people and that, and like look at what they do, they seem to be very planned out. You know what I mean? So I feel like if you have everything very planned out and you actually stick to what you're planning, though, that's a big thing. Like if you're actually doing what you're planning, then I feel like that's better. You know what I mean? But I try and be organized and try and plan things, but then I also run off of how I'm feeling, because like I know like when I'm feeling something super strong, it's usually the right thing. You know what I mean? At least in my experience with what I've been doing. So I feel like, I don't know, I'm trying to see in the long game what works out for me. You know what I mean? But it's never too late to adjust things or whatever.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's not just depending on what type of person you are and what you're trying to do, I guess. Like I feel like planning things out's really good, especially if you're like a person like I'm coming in like a business and I'm trying to make money in this. I feel like planning is going to be like the best thing. But if you're a person where you're like, I want to leave like more of a legacy, I want to go, like, you know what I mean? I feel like that then impulsiveness kind of makes you real in that sense. Not impulsiveness, I guess, but going off your feeling and your honest, like, you know what I mean? Like honestly, how you feel is kind of, I feel like that's what builds the legacy of people, and that's what makes them like Tupac. He was a very outspoken person. X was another one. You know what I mean? They didn't give a fuck, but they didn't hide who they were. They were just they were impulsive. You know what I mean? They were impulsive people. And some people, you got your haters for that, and you got your people that love you for that. But I feel like I'm just trying to be a bit of both. So I'm not too like, doing dumb shit or whatever, or like making bad decisions. But I'm not too by the book. You know what I mean? Not following by the book.
No, of course. I mean, I think there's a difference between being impulsive and being reckless. You know, you can be impulsive and make good decisions, or decisions that you think are positive at the very least, with positive intention. And then there's just being reckless, which is doing shit for the sake of doing shit. It's like, I may impulsively go write a song, you know, with positive intentions behind it, but being reckless would be like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna just go punch an old woman in the face because, you know what? I just feel like I could do it for the sake of it. You know, that's just reckless. And so, I don't think there's anything wrong with being impulsive.
Yeah, I feel like there are certain times, you know what I mean? And sometimes I was like, oh man, maybe I should just like chill, whatever. But then it's just like, I feel like that's also why, I guess that might be one of my good traits, you know what I mean? Although again, it's one of those things where it's like people have their haters and lovers. I feel like I'm a big person like that. Like, I'm a people that don't like me and I'm a people that do. Even just in music, some people hate the beats I make. Some people like love them. You know what I mean? That's like they're just like, yeah, sick. I just listen to your beats and don't even like buy them, whatever. No, I don't even rap. I just go and listen to instrumentals. And some people are just like, I don't like that. So I feel like I'm very not in the middle. You know what I mean? I'm just like, when it comes to like all that stuff, I feel like it's just you either like me or you don't. You know what I mean? Like,
accepting that you can't please everyone, no matter what you do, that you just can't please anyone.
No, I accept that, and I don't want to be pleasing. Like, I feel like by being myself, I'm pleasing the people that I want to be around and should be around. Yeah. If I'm not being myself, then I'm impressing the wrong people. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I see it, at least.
No, of course.
I've got a good group of people at the moment, so like, it's just, I feel like that plays a big part in it. You know what I mean?
Massively.
Like, it's all all Vinco based and shit. Like, I'm with them all the time. You know what I mean? We all stick super close together, and I feel like they guide me real right. Same with like, shout out Matt Raffle Beats and his brother, Mad Mother Beats. They're the same, bro. They're like they guide me. You know what I mean? Because they've been producing. They produce a lot of Menace's stuff and Cogs and all that, and they're just like a bit older. You know, like, so they just guide me in the right way. You know what I mean? In that sense. So it's just, I'm surrounded by good people that honestly want the best for me as well, I feel. So it's just like, I feel like that's a big thing. Just being like, because they'll tell me something if it's actually going to help me. You know what I mean? They're not going to be like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. You should have done that. They're just like, all right, like, they have the best intentions. So when they say something, or they're saying something to me and like going, oh, you shouldn't have done that, or like, what are you doing? Then it's coming from the best place. And I feel like that's a big thing. Like, I don't get mad at that. You know what I mean? I understand where it's coming from. So I feel like big thing is the circle you're around.
Yeah, surrounding yourself with the right people is massive. You know, you are a product of your environment and whatnot, and the people that you surround yourself is part of that environment. And apart from, let's say, your parents or certain family members, you can choose who you surround yourself with. Of course, if you've got shitty workmates that are in your work environment, not much that you could do about that. But in terms of the people that you go out with, or the people that you go and meet or call or even just follow on social media, you have control of that. Yeah. And I feel like that's key. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Like, I think most people have one or two friends, like that one friend who isn't always perfect, always fucks up, but they're your boy, they're your girl. You know, you've got to back them no matter what. And there's, you know, there's having certain characters like that. It's not, oh, my man sneezed on my food, so that's it. You're never going to talk to me again. But, you know, there's people that can fuck up, and there's people that can almost do wrong by you in some ways. But if they've been there for a while, if they've shown loyalty or gratitude or whatever it may be, you know, there's going to be certain people that you back regardless. But in terms of people that are acquaintances, people that you don't know like that, people who you don't owe anything, I feel like you should have control about how much you keep those people around. Of course, I'm a person who I try my best not to have any enemies and have people who don't like me, etc., etc. And so there's going to be times where I have to be around those people, you know, instead of me being like flat out, I'm not going to be around that person 24/7. I'll be like, you know what, I'll be around that person here and there. I'll say hello if they say how are you. I'll say, oh, well, I'm back, but I'm not going to go out of my way in any way, shape or form. And I feel like that's also a fair way of dealing with things. But surrounding yourself with the right people is massive, you know. And as you said, especially people who are older or more experienced in something that you're wanting to learn, people who can give you advice, that helps massively. Is there anyone in particular that has helped you learn or grow in your field of work?
Oh man, like so many people. Like, in terms of, that's what I mean, bro. I keep them all so close around me, so it's like I got a tight circle, but they're all like, You know what I mean? There are a fair few people in that sense. Like the whole OD clan, all of them.
Shout out the OD
Basically,
clan.
yeah, straight up. But like Snow and Huskii, like actually I spoke to Huskii first before I spoke to Snow, but I ended up like doing more work onwards from Slurpee and that with Snow, but he was like guiding me like kind of with that thing, you know what I mean? Like we was just like, I can tell you're a hell of a good dude, like, you know what I mean? Like just watch these things and like don't trust too many people and all that stuff. And yeah, but pretty much like Snow was just hit up bass, and I hit bass up, Get Body happen. I kind of met all the boys, you know what I mean? And then like nothing really happened from that. And then oh damn, last year in December, I like really went and just like talked to everyone, you know what I mean? Just like networked and was like trying to just meet everyone. And I ended up just going back to bases and like we were just kicking it with Snow and everyone back at his place. And yeah, pretty much since then, man, we've just been like hanging out every day, you know what I mean? Just like, yeah, we're gonna do this and that, and like just trying to help each other in that sense. But for sure, man, Bass Cadet, big ups, Jasper, Vinco, Shadow, Monk, all those guys, man, have been guiding me in the right way. Matt Raffle, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And even like outside of all the music stuff, like I got a few good guys like around me in that.
No, that's good, man. It's
sure.
good to
So
surround yourself with the right people. It's good to surround yourself with good people. Are you still in contact with Snow?
Nah, man, I haven't heard from him in a while, like literally since he's gone off the map, pretty much. But yeah. You know, I've left him some voicemails and that, like, you know what I mean, and just let him know, like, because he without him, bro, I might have been here, but I was, you know what I mean. I wouldn't have came in the game like I did. I was very fortunate like that. So if it wasn't for Huskii and Snow in that sense, I don't think I'd be where I am now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, like I owe a lot to them. You know what I mean? Like in that sense, and it's like.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
I mean,
as you
said, you might have still been doing your thing. You just might have not been in the position that you are now. You know, I feel like that's a perfectly fair statement to make.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I wish the best for both those dudes, like for real.
Yeah, no, definitely free Huskii, man. And you know what? Let me touch on this real quick because I've tried not to make a whole big thing, but I feel like I have to address it in some ways. There's plenty of people that have shit all over Snow. Oh wait, you lagging? We good?
Yeah, all good. All good again. Yeah, all good.
I have to address it real quick. There's been plenty of people that have shit on Snow, like completely, and to a certain extent, I can understand it. They're fans of him. He was building his way, or was part of the Oz rap scene. And then kind of just felt like he abandoned it. Now, of course, from a fan perspective, yeah, of course I want my man making music. But at the same time, whatever his personal reasons are, regardless of what statement he's made, whatever his personal reasons are, if that's what he feels like he needs to do, let him go and do his thing. There's nothing wrong with being disappointed and being like, I hope one day you come back to it, even though I don't think he will. But, you know, right? Being disappointed because you know you're not going to get new content for a long time, if not ever. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with almost being upset about it. You know? Like, oh, fuck, man, I want you to come back. But if once you've said, I want you to come back, and my man's like, nope, I'm going to go do my thing, then you've just got to leave the man be. I know there's people apparently calling up his workplace and sending death threats and shit, or trying to, like, you know, still get involved in his life and shit. And it's like, by him not making music, does it really require you to have that much negative energy to go and affect his life in that way? If my man owes you 20 bags, then I can understand you can hold that negative energy towards him. But otherwise, the man don't owe you anything personally. He doesn't. Like,
bro, he don't owe anyone anything. Like, these guys, bro, you have to remember, everyone. Doesn't matter if you're fucking Travis Scott, Stormzy, whatever. Everyone's humans. You know what I mean? Everyone's a human. You know what I mean? Like, doesn't matter if you have $1 million, 1 million followers, 10 million, whatever the fuck, bro.
Yeah.
Everyone's a normal person. They go through the same shit. Like, you know what I mean? I just thought of it like this. I'm like, I'm happy for you, bro. You know what I mean? And especially because I worked with him for such a short amount of time, and he kind of helped bring me in the game. It hurt me, like, a lot. But I didn't even, I was like, oh, yeah, bro, that's cool. You know what I mean? I just accepted it. I was like, straight out, like, whatever you're going through, bro, like, just know I'm here as a mate. You know what I mean? Like, you helped me a lot. Like, me and him would even just talk, like, not even to do with music. You know what I mean? Just have like fucking massive hour-long conversations. And at the end of it, I was just like, I think I was like, oh, you sure? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, bro. I'm not even gonna argue. You know what I mean? Like, I'm happy for you. Like, you do it. You're doing what you want, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't know. He's doing.
No, I agree, and he's human at the end of the day. And yes, my man lied about some things. You know, people who know the details of that, they know the details. But yeah, I guess you could be mad at that, but I don't think you could be mad at someone, especially if there's a whole mental health side of things. I don't remember the exact statement that he put out, but especially if his mental health wasn't in a good way, I'm all for my man doing whatever the fuck he needs to do. At the end of the day, if you disappear off the face of the map and make a massive turn in your life, I don't think you're gonna have Snow calling you up and shitting all over you 24/7. I just at the end of the day, the man's human. Yes, I can understand why people are annoyed. No, I don't understand why people go to the point of shitting all over him online, or even going out of their way to try and contact him for any negative reason or purpose or intention behind it.
Exactly. I don't know. Yeah, like, anybody that has, like, coming out of their way to do any negative thing, it just, like, to me, honestly, man, it makes you look so jealous of whoever it is. You know what I mean? It's just like, bros, you to get to that man's point and then have a go at him. You know what I mean? If you get to where he's gone and walked his path and then have a go at him. You know what I mean? Like, he's not attacking you. Why are you know what I mean? And even just, like, I'll just say one thing quickly, even just with, like, the whole thing, like, Snow's fake and that, like, to my knowledge, I never saw him ever, once he said he was leaving, make another single, like, comment on the shit people were saying. He's never actually started the story. You know what I mean? Like, people just saying all the shit. He never left Melbourne. That's a big thing. He never left Melbourne, not once. You know what I mean? So people just made up these stories and nobody spoke to him. Like, it was just like, you know what I mean? It was like same thing with Huskii being locked up. Like, nobody knows, bro. You know what I mean? Like, people just making up stories. Like, until you've heard from that person, unless like, nobody can say he's, like, gone and lied and being fake, I feel like, unless he's come out and been, like, address things, you know what I mean? And then people can make a decision. But the fact that he's left being the bigger man, he really doesn't care. If he really was fake, he would at least said something back and, like, really try. And he didn't even try. You know what I mean? He doesn't care. He just doesn't care for people's opinions. He's like,
is that fair to say that's why people could be annoyed though? But the fact that he just didn't care, he just, you know, run off and just didn't give a fuck about anyone who supported him.
It was more the fact that people, I feel like there were heaps of people that were just, like, making up all those fake stories. It's like, well, if I've gone for a minute, he's like, I might be back. Remember, I think that was the last thing he put in his story. I might be back. And then people made all these stories out when he wasn't in, like, January. He hadn't heard nothing from him. So I feel like he would have just gone, well, fuck you then. You know what I mean? Like, you bad mouth me. I haven't even said anything. You know what I mean? I've just literally taken pretty much a break at that point. What he said was, from my understanding, a break. And people were just doing that. So I was just like, yeah, well, bro, like, do your thing. You know what I mean? Like, not saying that I would leave or whatever, because I really love this shit. Not saying he didn't, but I feel like he just had a different direction in his life. Like, at this point, I'm super loving it, doing what I'm doing. But if he wants to leave, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
No, and it was just all these stories, like, so.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, like,
right,
you know, with all the stories and whatnot, it's difficult in a position like mine where I have people always messaging me going, I know the inside sus about Snow, and there's very few people that when they say that I can trust them. And even then, I've never met 99.9% of the people that have messaged me saying that anyway. So there's no physical proof of anything. Even down to Huskii situation, even down to Flo's situation, even down to Greely's situation, you know, Greely's situation, I spoken to him about it, so I know where I stand with that, and you know, that's that. Whereas as for the other guys, I don't know what their situation is. I have some people, some reliable sources that have told me things, but again, there's only so much that I can hold that as true, let alone the random message requests that I get, which, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that everyone's lying. I'm sure that there's got to be some person telling some level of truth in there, but when you get all of these different stories and it's, trust me, bro, I know him, I grew up with him from day and I was working with him in the studio, it's only so much information that we can take in and trust. And so when people are splatting out all of these stories, it's difficult for me to talk about, because I want to talk about it. I want there to be some level of discussion, but at the same time, it's not our business to be talking about. And that's why I kind of tread on eggshells when talking about things like this, because I don't want to spread anything that's not true. I don't want to bring up new rumors or kind of fuel anything that's not true, or even the truth. At the end of the day, that's their private business. That's their shit. That's for them to be telling. That's their story to tell, not anybody else's. So, you know, it's a difficult situation for me personally, because I could be that media outlet that gets the clickbait title, and this is what's really going on with Sknow right now. You know, it'd be easy for me to do that. Right now, I could draw a mad title out of this, but I won't, for the simple fact of I respect whatever he's going through and whatever he has done and whatever his decision is. You know, so obviously it'll probably, I will address it, but it's how you address it is very important.
Yeah, is the issue. Yeah, I feel like it's just a big thing, like just having respect for him. You know what I mean? Like just respect for anyone in that matter, unless they've done something really fucking bad to you or to like that's known for a fact. Like just leave. You know what I mean? Just leave it. Like it's fine to talk about it, but just not making comments in the sense like randoms just make. You know what I mean? Like random people just making comments that are not backed by anything and just like disrespecting him. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Like, there's no reason for that shit.
No, of course. I mean, if you think about it now as well, like the age that we're in, and especially when you're an online personality or brand or whatever, how easy it is for us to just convey stories and information about ourselves is crazy. Like, you think about this now, 50 years ago, not even 50, let's go 30 years ago, no social media, like the beginnings of the internet and whatnot. There wasn't this way of just putting all of this information out. Like, for you to know personal shit about someone, you had to know that person or know people who knew that person. Now it's like someone could put anything up on social media and it has this worldwide reach. And then all of a sudden, because that person swears by it, you know, all of a sudden it's true. Like, I did this or this person did that. You put that on Instagram, as long as somebody reads that, as far as they know, that could be possibly true. There's no sort of real feeling about it where, you know, there's not that level of, but I know that person and I know that they didn't do that, or I know that person, I know they wouldn't have ever said that. You know what I'm trying to get at there? It's just the age that we're in. It's too easy to say shit that's not true, whether it's about yourself or whether it's about on behalf of somebody else.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, that's I feel like that's 100% true. Like anyone can just say whatever they want, and people like, and that's the thing. Some people believe it, some people deny it. It's whatever. It's just like I just don't give it any energy. You know, and I'm just like, I'm just too much because it's so much now. I'm just like, this is dumb shit, bro. Whatever it is, could be something not related to anything I'm doing. I'm like, I don't want to see it. That's why I don't even check my Facebook feed, bro.
You know what? I was just about to comment on this. Do you feel like we take in too much of other people's lives? Like, do we know too much about what Sally's doing? Do we know too much about what Jake's doing? Do we know too much because we're constantly looking at somebody else's social media feed and, you know, knowing too much about someone?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that's just like the whole who knows at this point. I feel like it's too early to say, but I feel like it's just, this might be where the world's going. You know what I mean? That could just be like, you don't know too much now. That's just how much everyone knows about everyone. You know what I mean? But it's just like, not that I like it at all. I feel like it's just like, fuck, you have to just almost deal with it. Yeah, and accept it. You know what I mean? Learn how to just go, okay, like I don't want to be that person that I see. You know what I mean? Like doing that shit and just like, I don't know. I like to, not in a selfish way, but I like to focus on what I'm doing and people around me are doing, like my close circle are doing. You know what I mean? Because I feel like, people I trust are the ones I listen to, and then I feel like it's just a good thing. Then I'm getting reliable things about what I want to know, and everyone's just moving forward in a good way. Whereas when I start listening to outside people's bullshit, like even personal life, whatever the fuck it is, like it just gets too much. It just becomes some dumb shit. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I feel like. It's just trying to like, if you're on social media, just trying to like focus on actual important shit, especially if you're a musician or like a media outlet, you know what I mean? Just like, okay, like I don't need to be looking at this shit. I don't need to be following this person. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why am I even doing that? That's a big thing I've done. Like I still need to go through and like cull all the people I'm following, like half the people like that are just aren't relevant to anything. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's a big thing. It's just like with social media, it's just been a person on there that can stay focused. Like, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, that shit's always going to be there. But I feel like it's about how you go about it and how you block it out. You know what I mean? And make sure you're focused on it. But I feel like everybody does know too much about everyone, but they don't in a way, because how does everyone know what's true? You know what I mean? Like, nobody for sure knows. So it's just like all this shit going out, which is irrelevant to anything.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, look,
I
I follow on Instagram less than 100 people. And I'm on a little bit of a petty one here. I'm on a little bit of a petty one because I want to keep it under 100. So if I follow somebody new, I need to unfollow somebody else, right? It's a little bit of a petty thing I've got going on right now, right? But the reason I think I'm doing it is because I don't need to see more than what 100 people are posting. If 100 people post something in the same day, do you realize I have to scroll how many times up on Instagram? I don't sit on Instagram 24/7. So although I have I promote my Snapchat in my videos in the overlay, I need to change that because I don't post on Snapchat. I'll be real, I haven't answered any messages from Snapchat in weeks. Yeah, I'm terrible for it. Twitter, I use Twitter, but I don't tweet. I don't follow many people. I just about keep up with Instagram as it is. And even then, I don't want to be scrolling for 8 minutes straight just to catch up with my feed. Now, if that's what you want to do, if that's what anybody else wants to do, so be it. I'm not downplaying it. You know, I'm not shitting all over it. That's what somebody wants to do. That's what they want to do. But for me, I don't need to know what 100 different people are doing. So the fact that I'm even following around that number is... It's still insane in my head. I unfollowed somebody because I was going through the list. So obviously I followed somebody new. I was like, I gotta unfollow somebody. I'm going through my list and I was like, has this person even posted? So I've clicked on their profile. 0 posts yet. Zero posts. So I unfollowed that person. I then get a phone call that day. Why did you unfollow me on Instagram?
Are you serious?
Excuse me, big man. First off, you have my number. That is more valuable than a social media follow. 2, you're not posting anything. So why am I following your profile? Unless you want to turn around and admit that it's a clout thing because you have Chazza. No! No! And so, even people who do post on a regular basis, if I don't like your shit, I might like you on a personal level. I just might not be interested in what you're posting on social media. See you later. Like, I get people, follow me, bro. And I'm like, but why am I going to follow you? I don't know you. Like, for me, again, nothing wrong with the internet personalities and celebrities and artists that do. Like, I got followed by Justin Bieber, and you find out Justin Bieber follows 500,000 people. For me, I can't get gassed over that. I can't. Like, I've had some big blue ticks in my DMs, and a couple of them have just been purely out of marketing. Oh, hi there, love your videos. Can you check out my new track? And I'm like, big man, I don't listen to you. If you've even clicked on my channel, you'll realize I don't follow your scene. And so, for me, I can't get gassed over that personally. I was more gassed when, like, Yizzy, who did the track with Nerve and Shadow. When Yizzy hit me up, I was gassed because I liked Yizzy. But if a certain artist with a couple million followers hit me up who I don't listen to, I was like, oh, that's nice. But I can't get gassed over it. Whereas when Shadow hit me up for the first time, when Scrub hit me up for the first time, when Nerve hit me up that's when I was a little bit more like, oi. Because I'm having that personal connection with that person. It's not just, that person with a blue tick is following me. You know? Like, that's how I feel about it personally.
Yeah, for real, yeah. I agree with that for sure. I feel like that's a big issue as well with people. Like, you know how you're saying, like what's his name that called you or whatever was like, you unfollowed me. I feel like, man, if people like doing that, I mean, everybody do what they want to do, but if people are doing that, that's half the issue with why people aren't getting places, because they're giving too many fucks about what everyone else is doing. You know what I mean? And that's a big thing. Like, I notice when, and I'm the same, sometimes I get fucking distracted and I'm like, I shouldn't be watching, but I just pull myself back. I'm like, I shouldn't be even like paying attention to that. But like, I feel like a big thing is when I was just focusing, like I said, on myself and others around me and what's relevant. Like how you were saying when you got gassed off of, like, you know, the people that you listen to hitting you back. I feel like that's when people get further. You know what I mean? Like I never hear people back going, man, can you give me a follow? Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, I'll follow them. Whatever happens. I want to work with them. Cool. They don't follow me. Whatever. Like, I'm just gonna keep doing my own thing, posting when I want to post. You know what I mean? Posting what I want to post, just talking shit to the camera, whatever it is. You know what I mean? But like, whoever wants to follow that follows it. It's like that whole thing. Like, you got the people that don't like you and the people that do, and I don't really care for the people that don't. You know what I mean? Like, in that sense, it's just like, I don't want to impress you anyways. So it's like, if you're not really liking my shit, it's whatever. I don't care. Like, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, like, that shit will come. You just have to focus on yourself and what you're trying to do, I feel like. You know what I mean? Like, so for me, it's the beats. For you, the videos and shit, you know what I mean? And the people that you're trying to do videos with, for me, it's, the beats and the artists I want to work with and people I want to work with. So I feel like it's just people need to focus on what they're trying to do. Otherwise, like, you know what I mean? It's like you're trying to get to a destination, there's a way to head straight, but you're fucking going all over the place, you know what I mean? You get there way later. Like, that's how I look at it anyways. But
so I mean, I understand it's different if you're doing it for business reasons. For example, if I do break that 100, it's because I need to follow multiple artists to know when they're dropping new music, or to keep in touch with when they're dropping a new project. Sure. That will probably be the only reason why I'll break that petty rule that I've set myself, right? And again, if it's for marketing reasons, as like a producer, if you want to be following all of these different artists, you know, you might come across a story one day where they're like, oh, if you're a producer, hit me up. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if it's for marketing or business reasons, again, that's the one time where I'll excuse the people who follow as many people as they possibly can. That's when I'll understand it. On terms of, like, oh, I have 3,000 followers and I follow 1,500. Look at my ratio. And I'm like, but how many of those people that you follow do you know or are interested in? For example, I follow Skepta because I love Skepta. That is purely the reason why. Okay? Yeah. I'll follow my closest friend because they're my close friend. I care about what they're doing. Okay? Yeah. But I won't follow as many people as I possibly can because I have a friend who has an uncle who has a half sister who has a baby father that is that person. That just doesn't, in my head, that doesn't resonate for me. It's the reason why I've never made Facebook. All of these mutual, I've never bothered with Facebook for me personally, because I just don't care about how many people I know. I care about how many people are there for me or that make good music. That's it. Yeah, for real. I hate the app itself. Messenger's good, but like I don't even bother with the feed, man. It's just so much bullshit. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like that is the number one worst one, I reckon, man. Especially right now because it's getting old, so they're trying to improve and doing way too much extra shit. So it's just like that's the one which is like, fuck. You're gonna waste all your data, all your time, like all your Facebook. That's the other thing. Keeping up with multiple social medias. It's like, I can't do it. For me personally, maybe this is just me being ignorant. I can't keep up with multiple social medias plus the messages. Like, I can keep up with one or the other. When I have 10 minutes, I'll choose to either spend 10 minutes on the feed or I'll choose 10 minutes replying to messages. I'll be real. I'm slowly getting to that point now where I'm struggling to keep up with the messages that I get. And realistically, if I was a person that spent more time on social media, I'd be fine. But I don't spend a lot of time on social media, so it's difficult for me to keep up. Like, I'll be real. I'm doing selective replies right now. Whilst we're messaging back and forth to organize this, you know, I'm having other people message. And it's like, I'm trying to keep up with it all, and I'm finding it difficult. Because once you reply to someone, of course, they message back. And it's easy to reply to everyone. It's difficult to hold a conversation with multiple people on a regular basis. It is. The only thing I wish different is that I need an Australian number or some shit, because I need people's numbers, because DMs is hard to keep up with. When I first started DMing all of these people and then they're like, oh, I didn't see this message, I'm like, big man, you can we're lagging. There we go, we're back. When I was DMing all of these different people to try and keep up with them, and you know, I was getting really slow replies, I'm like, fuck you then. You know what? Yeah, maybe they didn't want to talk to me in the first place. And then down the line, you know, I understand now that your DMs get flooded. I want to be able to have people's numbers to call them up or message their phone, not just Instagram DM them, because it's a lot more difficult for that to be done. On a business side, I'd rather have somebody's number. I'd rather have Bagsy's number. I'd rather have Carl Golly's number to be able to call them and be like, right, now that I've got a hold of you, whatever it will be about. So yeah, it's difficult to just keep up with people on social media when they get a lot of message requests and things like that. And I can understand it now, because you don't check your DMs for an hour, that pushes off of that first initial screen of people who have messaged you, you know? And so, yeah, I can understand when it's difficult to keep up with it all.
Yeah, man. Even me, like, I don't have a crazy message request or anything, but I notice, like, I get the people to where if the rappers don't respond to them, they hit me up. I'm like, you know what I mean? In that way, so it's like, oh, maybe he'll reply, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. And so it kind of builds up from that. So literally it's messages about beats or wanting to talk to another artist or Snow, or people. Sometimes it's people just want to talk shit, whatever, which is cool. But like, usually it's like those 3-4 things. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, so it's just like that's I feel the reason why my one kind of builds up a bit, and I'm just like shit. Like, so it actually gets like a bit crazy. You know what I mean? And I don't get a lot. I was like, fuck. I just think in my head, man, fuck. Can you imagine how like all these other dudes feel? You know what I mean? Like,
well, as humans, we're not built to have multiple different conversations at the same time. When you think about it, you can have a conversation with a bunch of people in the same room or in the same vicinity as you, but we're not built to hold 30 different conversations with different people, because if those people were in a room with you and you was going along one by one, you would forget what you was talking about if it weren't for that previous message history. You know what I mean? We're not built to talk to that many people all at the same time. Like, and so yeah, it gets a bit of a mad one. And again, I'm not downplaying social media. I think social media is amazing. If it weren't for social media, if it weren't for things like YouTube, we wouldn't be having this chat. I say it many times. I wouldn't have the audience I would, etc., etc. But there's also plenty of negatives if you let social media take control of you. If you don't have control of it and it has control over you, you know. So yeah. It's just keeping it all in moderation. But
you just have to be yourself on it, and then it's just like, I feel like you just have to keep. I just like try and keep it just real as I can. You know what I mean? Like, and just be myself. Like, again, whether people like it or not, I feel like that's what kind of keeps me just like not getting carried away with it, because it's just like, it's a thing where I'm just like, I'm just doing what I want to do with it. You know what I mean? But I feel like it's like you said, man. Without it, I wouldn't be here. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
no, of course, and that's why I don't want to completely shit all over it, because at the end of the day, there are more positives than negatives. You know, I use it to keep up with artists and when they're dropping new music, etc., etc. But yeah, I think for anyone it can become too much if you use it too much. Anything in moderation. You wouldn't take crack cocaine too much, so don't use your social media too much. I don't know, you know what I mean? So it's just anything in moderation. But yeah, I've got to wrap this up because I've got to shoot off. This is a bit of a short podcast today. But is there anything that you want to plug? Anything that you want the people to know about?
Just keep an eye on OD and the whole scene. Watch the Oz scene coming up. You know what I mean? And big ups to you, man. Like, for real, fucking making it international. You know what I mean? Like, giving it a bit more light in that sense. It's fucking hard out. So that's sick. You're doing this thing, bro. Like, for real. And yeah, just big ups to the whole Oz scene. Everyone killing at the moment. Fucking. Oh yeah, I'll drop my Instagram too. At NewWaveBeatss with another S on the end. So yeah, too easy. But fucking cheers for having me, bro. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it, man. Awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Shout out Chazza. Yeah.